Hey guys, so today I am going to be doing an eye look using the Too Faced White Chocolate Chip palette. I also provided swatches of the palette in case you are interested in finding out if it's worth it to you. You know, swatches to me aren't exactly the best. Sometimes they will look a lot better swatched than they do on the eyes. So I am doing an eye look as well as swatches. That way you can decide whether you want to pick this up or not. It is $26. I received mine at Ulta, and I believe Sephora also sells it, and then also the Too Faced website I'm sure has it. This is a cocoa powder infused soft and sugary eyeshadow palette. It does smell a little bit like white chocolate. I wouldn't say it smells exactly like white chocolate, but it does have that sweet sugary smell to it, which the chocolate palettes do, although this one has a slightly lighter smell to it in my opinion, so it's not much of a chocolatey smell. It's like a white chocolate smell. Please keep watching if you are interested in finding out how the eyeshadows work on your actual eyelids, and stay till the end of the video to see the swatches as well. I have my eyes primed, so to set my primer I am going to be using the shade Ambrosia, using a shader brush. You know what, I'll zoom you guys in even more. That should be a little bit better. There we go. Next I'm going to take the shade Cake Batter, using a fluffy blending brush. For my lids, I'm going to be using the shade Exotica, using a concealer brush just so that I can get as much pigmentation from this as possible. First I'm going to try it dry, and then if it needs a little more pigment, I will try it with my setting spray. Just to see how intense the eyeshadow can get, I'm going to be putting the eyeshadow on my brush and then spraying it with my setting spray. Next, I'm going to take the shade Black Sugar, using a smaller blending brush for the outer corners. This has some glitter to it. We'll see how this works. It's very pigmented. I'm going to keep that on my outer corner and then slightly brush it into my crease, just going halfway. Then using the blending brush I used before, I'm going to take this with the color Cake Batter once again, just blend that out in my crease. I don't want the black in my crease to be too harsh. Going back in with Exotica, I'm just going to go right over the shimmer shade again, just because of the blending, it kind of blended out the shade a little bit. I just want to bring the pigmentation back. Then using the blending brush just to blend in the lines. There's quite a bit of fallout going on, but it's not that bad, so it's no big deal. Usually I would do my eye makeup first and then my face, but for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to keep it to the eyes, so I did my face first. So next for the bottom lashes, I'm going to take the shade Black Sugar once more, using a pencil brush and keeping that to the outer corners of my eyes. I'm going to keep it to the 1/3 of my lash line. Using Cake Batter, I'm going to run this on my entire lash line. This is also going to blend out the black a bit. Using a smaller shader brush, I'm then going to go back in with Ambrosia, also running that across my whole lash line. For my inner corner highlight, I'm going to be using the shade Pearl Candy, and using another pencil brush, as well as my brow bone. I'm quickly going to put on some mascara, and I will be right back. And that completes this eye look using the Too Faced White Chocolate Chip palette. So I did all the swatches for you guys. I honestly think that it's a good palette if you have medium skin tones. I know a lot of people were saying that the pigmentation of this palette isn't that great. I think that it's pretty good. There's a couple in here that aren't that great, and that also just match my skin tone a little too well, so that wouldn't work very well on my eyes. For example, Cookie Dough is almost exactly like my skin tone, and it also has shimmer in it, so I wouldn't use that as a transition shade. That's another thing. There's only 2 colors that I would be able to use as a transition shade, and they're both very similar. So I don't know, that kind of sucks. I wish there was kind of like a deeper or even a cooler toned brown, but you know, for a palette with 11 shades, I mean, it's pretty good. It's $26 for the chocolate chip palette. The pans are small with the exception of the larger pan, which I believe was Glaze. Glaze is the biggest pan in this eyeshadow palette. I believe that's because it's the best shade to set any eye primer. So I don't know. I don't know if this would be a very good palette for anyone with deeper skin tones than mine. Honestly, it might end up being like too white for your skin tone. I feel like this would cater better to people with fair skin tones, so this might be really good for you if you have pale skin. But this would also be a really nice palette for weddings. It's very light, very neutral. You can't really go that crazy with this palette. The matte shades kind of aren't that great. Like I said, they are good, but they're not great. But the shimmer shades in this are really good. Cookie Dough and Black Sugar are good shades, but the best shades in this palette would be Exotica, Pearl Candy, Raspberry Rose, Indulge, and Sugared Raisin. Indulge, I think, is so beautiful, but it's kind of chunky, so that's not that great, but it swatches so beautifully. See how reflective it is? I think Indulge is my favorite color in this whole palette. The shimmer shades are just absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I hope this video helped you out if you have medium skin tone or darker or lighter. If you are thinking about getting this palette, I think it is a good travel size palette if you want to go with neutrals and if you feel it matches your skin tone well enough. Let me know down below if you have this little palette and if you like it or if you don't. I'm really interested in finding out what you guys think. Also, let me know what skin color you have if it does work out for you. Maybe you will end up helping out someone else who has the same colored skin tone as you and is thinking about getting the palette. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!